What's up, budget builders? My name is Trail, and today I have some news that you guys will probably not believe when I tell you. And yes, it has to do with Senator Joe Manchin. He now wants the House Democrats to wait until 2022 to make a decision on the social spending bill. First, he wanted to pause the bill for a little while. Then he said he only will approve of up to $1.5 trillion. And now he wants to just put the bill on ice until sometime next year. The Democrats have got to do something with this guy. I honestly think he is working for the Republicans. Either they have a bounty out on him or they are paying him lots of money under the table. But anyways, guys, in other news, the House is preparing to discuss legislation sometime today on a cost of living adjustment for veterans. This is known as COLA. Military retirees and disabled veterans could see their monthly checks jump by hundreds of dollars each month in 2022, which should be the largest increase since 1983. Also, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is proposing a new bill that would reinstate unemployment benefits, as well as the pandemic-era unemployment insurance programs. She is now fighting to get these reinstated and extended through February of 2022. And outside of all of that, we have some daily news bites that I want to share with you as well. Now, these are just some of the topics that we are going to cover today in this video. If this is your first time to the channel, hey, welcome and glad to have you. On this channel, we talk about finance, real estate, credit cards, Bitcoin and crypto, and stimulus update news. So if you're interested in any of those, go ahead and hit the subscribe button for me. That way you can join our community. Also, if you end up liking the content in this video or even laughing at one of my silly, crazy jokes, then be sure to like this video. Other than that, guys, hey, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Okay, guys, this is going to be a pretty interesting week and a busy week at that. The House Democrats have their agenda pretty full as this month of September is winding down. The House Democrats plan to review all the information from the subcommittees who were tasked at writing different pieces of the $3.5 trillion social spending bill. But not only will they be working on that, they also have planned to discuss the cost of living adjustments for veterans. There is a current bill on the table that could effectively go into effect in December of 2021. This will be known as the Veterans Compensation Cost of Living Adjustment Act of 2021. Military retirees and disabled veterans could see their monthly checks jump by hundreds of dollars each month in 2022, which would be the largest increase since 1983. The annual inflation basis, COLA, will be determined by the government, and so far the data points to an increase of at least 6% and maybe even more than that. If things get approved, the additional increases would begin in early 2022. That means next year, individuals could see on average a monthly check increase of around $160 per month, and veterans receiving disability could also see their average monthly amount increase by almost $100 a month. The annual COLA increase is based on the Consumer Price Index, or CPI, which is measured by the Department of Labor. The agency measures the cost of a select group of goods and services and compares those costs to the previous year. If there is an increase, retirees and many others receiving government benefits would see an increase in their monthly payments for the upcoming year. So, sometime today, the House should be meeting up to discuss this COLA increase as the current fiscal year ends on September the 30th. So, that decision should be made closer to the end of this month, and they should announce the scheduled increase in early October. I will be following this news and keep you guys informed when we will receive the final amount for the increase. Now, for the depressing news, because if you're anything like me, every time I hear this guy's name, I get depressed each time. If you guessed it, Senator Joe Manchin. You are correct. I swear this guy is working for himself and not the American people. But anyways, guys, hey, Manchin has been in the news almost every day because he is the Democrat, but he is opposing the $3.5 trillion social spending bill. He believes that $3.5 trillion is just too much money. He stated that as of now, he could only support up to $1.5 trillion until he knows exactly what the money is going to be used for. So about 2 weeks ago, he stated that he is suggesting that the Democrats put a pause on the massive stimulus package and to just sit back and see how things play out. Well, as of late last night, Manchin suggested that the Democrats pause the bill altogether until sometime in 2022. So get this, guys, as we are finally getting ready to vote on the infrastructure bipartisan bill in 7 days, Manchin is suggesting to pause the discussions around the social spending bill until 2022. Man, Manchin has been saying this for a while to just pause the discussions around it for now. But now he is giving us a timeline of just how long he wants us to wait on this bill. Manchin wants to wait until 2022 to pick up the discussions around the $3.5 trillion spending. 2022? That's almost more than 3 months away. I mean, dealing with these senators in Congress, we already have to wait at least 1 or 2 months just so they can get their work done. And now he wants us to wait 3+ months just to discuss the bill? This is ludicrous, guys. Get out of here, Felicia. Manchin has been clear about his concerns, which includes the price tag of the bill, which is exactly what the money is going to be used for, and why the urgency of the bill right now. He has yet to get his questions answered. And this is what he said in a statement.
Instead of rushing to spend trillions on new government programs and additional stimulus funding, Congress should hit a strategic pause on the budget reconciliation legislation. A pause is warranted because it will provide more clarity on the trajectory of the pandemic, and it will allow us to determine whether inflation is transitory or not. I, for one, won't support a $3.5 trillion bill, or anywhere near that level of additional spending, without greater clarity about why Congress chooses to ignore the serious effects inflation and debt have on existing government programs.
Recently, Representative Pramila Jayapal responded to the notion of Manchin wanting to pause this bill. She said, pause on finally delivering childcare, paid leave, education, healthcare, affordable housing, climate action, and dental, vision, and hearing to millions of families across America? Absolutely not. Even President Biden tried to speak with Joe Manchin last week in an attempt to persuade him to get behind this bill for the Democrats and the American people, but Biden came up short. So, this roadblock continues to get bigger each week, dealing with Joe Manchin. The Democrats need 50 votes, and Manchin is holding one of those up right now. Bernie Sanders still feels confident that they can all work together just like they did with the American Rescue Plan. But Bernie said, we have already compromised on the price tag. We went from $6 trillion down to $3.5 trillion, and that amount is not changing. So, Manchin continues to be the thorn in the you-know-what when it comes to passing this massive $3.5 trillion budget reconciliation bill. I'm more than sure that new developments will occur sometime this week, if not today, and I will keep you guys posted as usual. And lastly, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is planning on proposing a new bill in an attempt to reinstate the federal unemployment benefits. Recently, all unemployment benefits expired on September the 6th. Not exactly sure who is to blame for these expiring, but AOC said that she is very disappointed on both sides of the aisle, that they have allowed the pandemic unemployment assistance to completely lapse when we are clearly not fully recovered from the cost effects of this pandemic. She said 3 programs have actually ended. Pandemic Emergency Unemployment Compensation extended the time frame of unemployment benefits, while the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance aided workers who would not typically be eligible for the standard unemployment insurance. And then the third program provided an extra $300 of benefits on a weekly basis. She said, while these programs have ended, millions of Americans are still struggling due to the economic crisis caused by the pandemic, which the surge of the Delta variant being a stronger force that is crippling our return back to normalcy. President Biden has recently urged states to extend their unemployment programs by using the federal money provided to them, but none of the states answered his call of action. Some politicians are still arguing that the cost of these programs are way too high, and others are complaining that it's preventing people from returning back to work, as some could earn more money on unemployment programs than they were at their regular job. So, as of now, Representative AOC and Cori Bush are leading a group of House Democrats in pressuring party leadership to include an expansion of the unemployment aid in the $3.5 trillion tax and spending package, as lawmakers are drawing it up right now. Lawmakers went as far as writing a letter to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and the Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, saying that the current state of the unemployment system is a threat to all communities, especially Black and brown communities, in many of the states we represent. We strongly urge Congress to include such improvements before the Build Back Better Act comes for a vote in the House and the Senate. So, as of now, lawmakers are still drafting the social spending bill with provisions to help struggling families, which this is the best opportunity to include something like the reinstatement of the unemployment benefits in this bill, as they have $3.5 trillion to play with, which is actually one of the concerns for Joe Manchin and why he can't support this bill, because they just don't know exactly what's in it so far. But hopefully by the next week, we should have a vote on the bipartisan bill in the House, and we should know more details of what's going to be included in this $3.5 trillion spending bill. As we learn more this week, I will keep you guys updated as usual. And now it's time for our daily news bites. And this first one is an important one. If any of you have an iPhone out there, there is a new iOS 15 update that is coming out sometime today. I strongly advise you not to download this update. It actually is a beta version, which means it still has bugs included in it. If you are like me and you hate dealing with issues with software, don't update your phone today. Make sure that automatic updates is turned off. They are saying that the new operating system comes with a wide range of new features and it fixes some of the previous bugs. But they are saying that this particular build that's coming out is worse than the previous ones. Apple is hoping that the developer team will address the new bugs in the upcoming update. So they are advising you to avoid downloading it today, as you will witness a beta version of this software. Governor Greg Abbott of Texas is not doing too well right now as far as the polls go. He is competing with the movie star Matthew McConaughey and Bill O'Rourke. The latest poll in the Dallas Morning News is showing his approval rating has dropped to 45%. This is probably mostly due to the actions he took regarding preventing school districts to making their own decisions whether to mandate masks or not. He should have stayed in his lane and not allow politics to intervene with the protection of our children. Secondly, the U.S. drone strike that killed civilians in Afghanistan. The U.S. had admitted that they had made a mistake, but bombing a vehicle they thought was full of explosives. That vehicle was carrying 10 Afghan civilians, 3 adults and 7 children. All of them were killed. Relatives of the Afghan killed are asking for punishment to the people who authorized that drone strike, and they are asking for compensation over the deaths of their family members. The relatives said that it's good news that the U.S. has officially admitted that they had attacked innocent people, but they still need justice. The U.S. has yet to respond on whether they will compensate the relatives' families or not. And hey, my time is up, guys. This has been a 4th stimulus check update for today. Now, if you enjoy any of this information or found it to be useful, be sure to hit the like button for us. It definitely helps out a lot, and it also tells YouTube to share this video with others. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button for me so that you can be a part of this community, and hit the notification bell to be notified of each new video. Again, as always, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.